Hello all, good evening. Welcome to the webinar series of Cresta School of Management Science and Arts, Mysore. I am Dr. Rakesh Achan, Principal of Cresta College. So I'll be taking the today's webinar. It is on how to score 100 on 100 with a successful revision plan. So just I'll be sharing the slides with you guys for your clear understanding. So in this session, I'll be explaining you the 7 simple steps of a revision plan wherein you are able to score 100 on 100. So let us go with the first step now. So the first step is to figure out how much time you have to revise. Here, the revision time is very important, and when you are going to start the studies for the exams is also important. Are you going to start the exams on the first day of the start of the school or the college, or in the vacation time, or in the holidays time, or in the study holidays, which is given just before the days of the exam? So based on the number of hours you want to dedicate for revising, based on that the revision plan will also be made. The second step is to prioritize your subjects or topics. Few subjects will be very difficult for you, few subjects will be very easy for you. So based on the participant in the webinar, there are so many different areas participants are there. So for the understanding or for the clear understanding of them, I have mixed the subjects of the commerce as well as the science as well as the management. So basically, if I take the example of a science student, mathematics or science will be very, very difficult subjects for them. So their priority of the subjects with regard to marks, with regard to their understanding, with regard to their learning will be more compared to the English language or any other language they're going to choose in their studies. Or if we take the example of a UG student, financial accounting or the financial management will be the priority subject for them, and the last one will be the languages as usual. So based on the subjects or the topics, you need to prioritize first. How you are going to prioritize is the simple tool is to use the Excel. In the Excel sheet, you can number the subjects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and also I can mention the subject name. Accordingly, you can prioritize your subjects for the revision plan. Continuing with the step 3, break the subjects into the topics. It is very, very easy method of revision. Basically, what happens is if we take the subjects, it will be having 10 chapters, 15 chapters, or 14 chapters. It will be huge, or even sometimes it is 7 chapters also. If you are breaking a particular subject into topics, it will be very easy for you to plan a revision and study accordingly for the exams. So, after prioritizing the subjects, there is a need to break the subjects into subtopics based on the importance level. Step 4 is to allocate 30-minute slots to revise. This is the basic necessity. There are 3 reasons why we need to allocate a 30 minutes slots to revise. The first basic thing is the cognitive psychologists have suggested that allocating 30 minutes revision time will be more effective than breaking it at the end of the 3 years or 4 hours. 4 hours. And the second advantage of breaking the sessions at every 30 minutes is it avoids monotonous. For example, few subjects will be very monotonous. It may be relating to a story, it may be relating to a narration, or it may be relating to a drama. It might be boring for few people, or it might be interesting for few people. And few students are interested in the practical papers, and few students are interested in the theoretical papers. So to avoid monotonous and concentration on a particular subject, this 30-minute time slots is required and it is essential. And the third advantage is based on the time distortion. When we study completely for 30 minutes, and we will be having more confidence level that we have concentrated at most or maximum or minimum 25 minutes, we are going to concentrate on a particular subject. So that is the minimum time, and also the understanding at that particular time will be more. So based on all these things, you need to allocate 30-minute time slots to revise. So after every 30 minutes, you should take a small break and again continue with the same subject, or else even you can also change the subjects as well. Next, step 5 is very, very important. What to do within each revision session. What you are going to do, what you are going to study, what are the things you are supposed to prepare for this revision session. So assume that you have made a timetable and you have allotted, as I said, you 30 minutes slot. And the next question is what you are going to do in that each revision session matters a lot. So initially, before starting the revision plan, you will be making the bullet points of the whole syllabus or whole text or the whole notes, whatever you are following. So initially, you'll be taking the bullet points. Once you are done with the bullet points, you will be referring to the weightage of the marks. So for a particular chapter, the weightage will be more. In particular chapter, it will be covering 15 marks. In some particular other chapters, it will be covering only 5 marks. So we'll be determining the weightage of the marks. Then you are going to revise the previous year question papers based on that particular chapter. I'll be telling you this is the secret of success or this is the secret of scoring 100 on 100. Step 5 is very, very important. Here, when you want to revise, you should consider at least 10 years previous year question papers and identify the questions of the different chapters. For example, from the first chapter, you might be having 5 different types of questions. You need to identify all those things. Similarly, for each chapter, you need to divide. So, and then accordingly, you're going to revise. So, this is what you're supposed to do in each revision session. Continuing further, you need to be flexible. As I said you already, it is not like breaking exactly at 30 minutes. Assume that the momentum is created and the concentration level will also be same at the start as well as even after 30 minutes. The slot. Continue. Don't break at that level. You have to be flexible sometimes. Assume that some topics are boring, so you can break at 25 minutes. If some topics are interesting, you can continue up to 45 minutes. So you need to be flexible for that. Next, you need to make a timetable which is achievable. We are all well known for planning and not for executing. So whenever we are creating a timetable template, make sure that it is achievable. So achievable in terms of the marks, in terms of the time we are devoting to study. So always remember the 7th step is to make a timetable which is achievable. So I'll just revise all the steps again. The step 1 will be to figure out how much time you have to revise. The second step, prioritize your subjects or topics. Break the subjects into topics. Step 4, allocate 30-minute time slots to revise. Step 5, what to do within each revision session. Step 6, stay flexible. And step 7, make a timetable which is achievable. Now, by including all these things, I have created a timetable template for you guys. If it is interesting, if it is helpful for you, you can follow the timetable. The revision timetable format is like this, and basically I've already told you it depends on the number of hours you're gonna study and on the time horizon you want to put efforts or on the marks you are willing to score. So I have made a 10-hour plan. It is a 7 days plan. In the 6 days, you will be completing the revision of all the subjects and you just need to devote 10 hours in a day. So 60 hours totally for 6 days and another 2 or 3 hours for revising the laptop. So as there is a varied participants in the webinar, I have mentioned it as subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, first language, second language and all, and you can fill it as per your requirement and as per your prioritized subjects. So 6 days of continuous study and the 7th day will be the revision of the left out topics. And once after you're done with the revising, you can just relax. You should not overburden yourself. You should also devote time for yourself so you can just relax and chill out for some time. So Uh, this was the first webinar series of Cresta School of Management Science and Arts, and we'll be having the second webinar series tomorrow, that is on 12th June 2020 at 5 p.m. And the session will be on 1 hour plan to improve your business acumen every day. Don't miss this webinar series. It will be the value addition for you guys in this lockdown period. Hope to catch you up tomorrow. Thank you very much.